Peace family, it's Q, brown skin girl, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the art and importance of detachment. I know I have not been making videos like that. I'm slowly but surely, getting back into my groove of creating and educating and, putting myself out there and stuff. But yeah, in my definition that I wrote down, detachment is accepting things for what they are, when they are, and how they are. And I think that's very important for us to do, because when we attach ourselves to situations, people, or whatever, and it doesn't give you the feeling that it initially gave you, you kind of lose a sense of self. And this is coming from like personal experience, like literally. And detachment, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like just with people. It can be with, your perception of like how you view things, or your ideologies, like how you think things and stuff. Like you can detach yourselves from those things as well. I feel like sometimes we feel the need that we have to be in control of everything, and we have control of how we do things and how we perceive things and how we interact with people. That's the only thing that you have control of, literally. But when it comes to anything outside of yourself, you literally cannot control that. And detachment is literally just realizing that and moving accordingly, like literally just accepting things for what they are when they are. If you cannot control it, then it's out of your control. It's literally nothing that you can do. You can only control you. You can control how you perceive things. You can control how you interact with people, like I said before. Like literally. And when I was younger, I feel old saying that. I'm only 23. I'm about to be 24. But when I was younger, I would view detachment as like being like this hollow, like spiritless thing. It's like, okay, I don't give a fuck about nothing, literally. That's what I used to think detachment was, but that's not detachment. Detachment is not feeling anything. It's accepting what you actually feel and how your perception can change based on what you actually feel. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think attachment would be the opposite of detachment. Is literally you identifying yourself with whatever situation, with whatever person, with whatever ideology or whatever. You literally identifying yourself with that, and it's when that ideology or when that person changes, or when that something changes and it's not something that serves you or that you agree with anymore, then you lose like I said before, you lose a sense of self. It's like that true freedom, true liberation is in detachment. Whatever is for you will be for you, and whatever is not will not. Literally, that's how life works. That's something that I've learned, literally. Like I said before, I used to think, and I feel like a lot of people in my generation think this way, or it's like you just don't give a fuck about anything. You just don't give a fuck because the society that we live in, it forces you not to give a fuck, because if you do give a fuck, that can be taken advantage of, in a sense. But that doesn't mean that you should not give. Whatever you actually do give a fuck about, then you need to give a fuck about it. Word. And just because you give a fuck about something doesn't mean someone else is going to give a fuck about the thing in the way that you give a fuck about it. And that's where detachment comes in. It's like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Not to say that I don't give a fuck about what somebody else feels, but it's outside of me. That's how they feel. That's what they want to do. I have no control over that. So it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is in a healthy, the quote, it is what it is in a healthy manner is what detachment is. Whatever is for you, I said this before, I'm going to say it again, whatever is for you will be for you. You don't have to chase that. You don't have to try to change that. You don't have to, overexert yourself. Just know what your intentions were, what you wanted to do. I think it's really important for us to understand that we cannot control what other people or anything outside of ourselves, like whatever they do or say or feel or whatever, like literally you cannot control it. And um, it's a very beautiful thing when you just let it go, and it's like, okay, I know that I cannot control it. I can only control what I control. I can control my perception, even of the situation. Even if it's something that you wouldn't do, you wouldn't have handled it in that way, in that manner. Um, Detachment is literally just accepting it for what it is, literally. I think it's very important to have a sense of self when it comes to detaching yourself from things that are outside of you, people that are outside of you. When it comes to relationships of any kind, a partnership to be more specific, something that I've noticed that I used to do is that I would identify myself with that person. They're their own person and I'm my own person, literally. And that's something that I had to realize. Because when it, a root cause of me doing that would be codependency issues, just being transparent. I didn't grow up with my parents, so I would identify anyone that I choose to, interact with. I would identify myself with them because my identity was altered, if that makes sense, by not having parents. I didn't grow up with my mom or dad, and that's a very big, part of knowing who you are. So like, just know that you, when it comes to partnerships, you are your own person, they are their own person. People have stuff going on that you could never even know about, or they don't feel comfortable sharing with you. Word. And that's life. Word. So like, you can't change that or anything. It's outside of you. So it's like, okay, you have to detach yourself from that. Literally, it is what it is. You can't, like I said, I've had codependency issues because I didn't grow up with my parents. So I've only ever been in 2 relationships, and one was like an official relationship and the other wasn't official or whatever. But the first relationship I've been in, my codependency issues like showed a lot in that relationship. Literally, I was up that nigga ass 24/7. Like every single thing that he did, it's like we literally ate shit and breathed each other like at all times, and that was not healthy at all. Because when the relationship ended, I literally lost who I was because I identified myself with that relationship, with that person, and that's not healthy. It's really not. You have to know that you are your own person, even if y'all have, of course y'all gonna have things in common, y'all gonna have common ground with stuff, of course, especially when it comes to a sacred union like that. Of course those things are going to be normal, but you are your own person, they are their own person. In conclusion of this video, it's very important for everyone to have a knowledge of self, know who you are, and anything outside of yourself you have no control over. Literally, whatever is for you will be for you. It is what it is.